Hello and welcome back to my LEGO Castle Kingdom Work in Progress series. It's been many months since the last episode, but now I've finally found some more time and inspiration to continue on this massive project with some exciting new additions to the castle section. This is best seen from the other side, where you'll notice how the entire right half has got substantially bigger with the addition of several new wall sections and a large round tower, as well as even more highly detailed rockwork, which continues to build up that organic shape of the mountain where the main castle keep will be situated on. And hidden within the depths of this mountain, I've begun construction on the foundation of the castle, which extends down into various different rooms and halls for the fun scenes and details. There's so many exciting new things to explore, and as always, remember this is still a work in progress, so if you have any suggestions or ideas for things you'd like to see me include in this castle, then please let me know down in the comment section below. For now though, let's begin with a closer look at the tower. I wanted to create something that would rise above the skyline of the medieval city, as well as to round off the outer corner of the castle wall. And I think this tower has turned out perfect to achieve both of those things. With some of those buildings out of the way, you can see a bit better of how that integrates into the rest of the mountain, especially with things like the moat underneath, which is now fully tiled over, and it still continues along the same path along this river under the drawbridge. And the thing I'm most pleased with is how seamlessly it's integrated into the walls of the gatehouse, repeating this same effect with the larger stone bricks wrapped around the base of the tower, which then extends up to a bunch of smaller stone bricks on the top two levels, complete with some arrow slits evenly spaced across the outside of the tower. And I think that combines together really nicely to create a really seamless look that continues along all sides of the outer wall. And I also like to point out this little section here to vary it up and add a splash of colour. I've just designed this small medieval building that just overhangs there as if it's been constructed over the top of the original structure. And here's what that looks like around the other side. So a very similar design that also overhangs and provides a nice little view into this courtyard. So we'll just take a quick look at this, because as you can see, there are a few new things, including this wooden staircase, which will eventually lead up to the castle keep. And you can see I've even prepared it for a little drawbridge to go there. So I might have a smaller one then is around the front of the castle. And then here you can see just the other side of that tower. And I've also added another set of horse stables over there. Similar design to the first ones. And then you can see how that massive round tower continues up all the way to the top. And you can even get a good view of the stairs, which spiral all the way down through the tower. And if I remove the roof, you can see how those stairs continue spiraling down further into each of the floors in the tower, which are obviously still not furnished, because I haven't fully decided what to fill these floors up with. I'm thinking something like a library could look really cool, with the bookcases going all along the rounded walls. But of course, if you have any suggestions for what I should include in this round tower, then please let me know in the comments below. The next area I'd like to show you is an especially cool one, and that is the beginning of the mountain where the castle keep will sit on, with these detailed cliffs that rise out of the sea. As you can probably tell, I spent a lot of time making sure that all of this rockwork was really unusual and varied, and that no two bits were the same, and I also tried to make sure that it all fully matched with the rocks which I built earlier. And this wasn't just out of pure creation. Through building all of this, I've used up so many of my dark bluish grey pieces that I've had to resort to using some really unusual and uncommon combinations of parts that I wouldn't have otherwise thought of using. But overall, I'm really happy with the results of this, because it looks so interesting when combined together like this. And as an extra way to break up the dark grey of the rocks, I thought this would be the perfect place to include some more exposed light grey brickwork of the castle underneath. This doubles as an alternative entrance to access the castle, and includes a moving portcullis that can be raised just high enough to let boats and other small ships sail through, where they can unload their cargo and supplies directly into the basement storage areas underneath the castle keep. So now let's head on in and begin exploring the first floor of the basement sub-level. I wanted to fill in this space with as many different rooms and details as I could, so you can see I've added different rooms in between each of these pillars, which spread across the entire level and act as the foundation for the rest of the basement and castle above. So if we take a look at it from a bird's eye view, you can see this is the main entrance to this level, which includes this long spiral staircase which wraps around until it reaches the bottom. And through this archway you get a very good view of the underground harbour, and you can also climb those steps to access that small wooden dock, and also the boat, which is currently parked safely away in this little alcove here. And there's also a door which continues on to another storage room that will obviously be changed for light grey in the final build. And this little room holds a very cool little secret, in the form of an ancient hidden passage. This can be used in emergencies in case the king or queen need to escape the castle if it comes under attack, and you can see that just opens up into this small doorway, which obviously hasn't been used for a very long time, seeing as it's covered in a giant cobweb, and that leads into this very dark cave, which is currently home to a grizzly bear. But if you can make it past him, you're actually able to escape out of the castle by swimming through this river, which extends all the way past the castle walls, underneath the drawbridge, and comes out at that cave entrance which you saw earlier. So I thought that's just a great way to link those two areas together, and also provide an alternate route out of the castle. The final area on this floor is protected behind several layers of security, including this simple metal gate to zone off the entrance, along with these two fully suited up knights in armour who are standing guard in front of this reinforced wooden door. And of course, the only thing that could be behind all of these layers of protection is the most valuable room in the castle, and that is the royal treasury. This was a super fun room to decorate because I wanted to make it look like it's really bursting full of all kinds of valuables and treasures. And I achieved that by including things like trays of diamonds, these beautiful crystals and precious minerals, as well as piles of golden coins stacked up towards the back of the room, as well as some more impressive one-off artifacts such as this golden statue of the king, which has turned out really cool, and this shelf featuring some of these really shiny chrome plates. And in case you're wondering how I attached those, they're just attached using a headlight brick, which makes it look like the plates are actually just balanced on top of that shelf. I've also decorated this room with some things like a candelabra sitting on the ground there, and some emblems on the wall. And then towards this side, I've included some more decorations and ornaments, along with some treasured weapons, and also things like a rare dwarven helmet and precious idols and artifacts on that table at the back there, as well as some more shelves featuring some more smaller trinkets and treasures, and even a little metal safe down at the bottom there. And I've also filled it up with lots of shiny ingots and swords and all kinds of things like that. And I really love this little golden table here with some kind of important, valuable document on it, perhaps relating to the king or royal family. Of course, having a room full of such valuables tends to attract some unwanted visitors, such as this guy who appears to have somehow snuck past all of those guards outside and began to acquire some of this treasure for himself. So we'll have to see if we can spot how he managed to get in when we take a look at the next floor of the basement. So as you can see, this next level features a very similar design to the one below it, continuing those really nice pillars that form the columns of the foundation, and this time the rooms in this floor are related mostly to food preparation and storage. Because I'm thinking of having the castle's main dining hall located somewhere along the top, so I thought it'd make sense to have close access to the kitchens and that kind of thing underneath. So over on this side, you can see I've actually ran out of those really nice stair pieces, so I'll need to order some more. This is just temporary and I will replace that, so don't worry. That's just to get an idea of the direction of the staircase. And if we begin over on this room, you can see this is really the start of the kitchen. This includes a chef who's hard at work, baking some cookies and timing them with a sand timer, as well as some soups and stews which are being prepared on this table. And this is the main oven which the chefs cook all of their meals in, so that's even got a pot cooking something at the moment, and a bunch of medieval kitchen utensils hanging above that as well, just for easy access. And then the next room here is the wine cellar. So this obviously includes lots of barrels for long-term storage scattered about the room, and also a little tasting table right in the middle. And it looks like someone might have had a little bit too much wine and knocked over a glass there. But of course, the main feature of this wine cellar is this really impressive wine storage rack at the back, designed to look like those wooden wine racks that you often find in old castles and manors. And in case you're wondering how I achieved this effect, this white piece here is actually a large lattice fence from the Belleville theme, and you can actually see the top of that fence sticking out there. Then basically what I've done is just added in these cone pieces to represent the wine bottles and stuck them in with studs not on top bricks and Technic bricks to make it look like the wine bottles are stacked up there, and that creates a really cool effect, especially from the side like this, where you can really see how 3D this wine cellar actually is. So really happy with that section as well. And then this last area is part of the kitchen again. So there you have another chef chopping some kind of gourd, a little cheese selection which has attracted some attention, and this really cool cupboard design which is made out of dark orange window shutters and includes a selection of bottles with oils and spices on the top, as well as some kitchen utensils hanging in the corner, and some more wooden cartons of eggs and other containers. And underneath this little crate of apples, if we move that out of the way, you'll notice there's actually a break in the floor. And if we look further down, back down to the treasure room, you can see there's a rope going all the way down from there. That's probably how this guy has been sneaking in without anyone noticing. Maybe this chef is even in on the secret. The final room on this side can be accessed through this solid wooden door, and this opens up to reveal a very chilly ice room. That's right, this is the medieval equivalent of a refrigerator. Basically a room full of ice saved from the winter months or imported from colder regions, and kept here in this dedicated room to preserve all of the fish and frozen meats, and basically keep them as fresh as possible during all times of the year. There's even a giant turkey hanging there in the corner. And I've used lots of these very light blue bricks and transparent pieces to give this room a really chilly frozen atmosphere, which looks especially cool viewing it from all the way back here. I guess we better shut the door, wouldn't want any of that food defrosting. And now the final area in this level of the basement is home to a woodworker's workshop. There he is at the moment, currently chopping up some firewood from this massive pile of logs. And the idea is that since you have this massive fireplace over there, it makes sense to keep the fuel nice and close by, so they wouldn't have to transport it that far to keep it burning. Then in the corner there's a pile of other woodworking projects, including some wagon wheels of various sizes and boxes, as well as a little workbench in the corner, And then as we go around here, you'll see this actually opens up into a bit of a rocky cave area. But in this last little bit of built up columns, I thought it would be a good place to store some more kitchen utensils and some spare goblets that can maybe be used during a banquet or a feast in the main castle. And then over here, this is just how the minifigures would access the portcullis controls for the underwater entrance down the bottom there. And again, that just rolls up using a simple string mechanism. Nothing too fancy, but I thought it's no point trying to cram a massive motorised mechanism in this tiny space, since you don't really see it too much. And then the last thing which I'd like to show you quickly is, here's just a look at the other side of that floor. So I've just temporarily turned it round, and you can see those stairs which will lead up to the main entrance and drawbridge to the castle, as well as some more basic rockwork techniques over on the outer wall. It's just a lot easier to see in that way compared to when it's in the courtyard. So I hope you enjoyed my latest update to my LEGO Castle Kingdom, and hopefully it was worth the wait. Next time I'll probably begin working on the main castle keep. I think it'd be really cool to include a massive hall with the thrones and a big banquet laid out on the tables. Plus I'm excited to finish off and furnish some of the interiors in the locations such as the tower and that house. So stay tuned for the next work in progress episode. Don't forget to give this video a like, let me know what you think in the comments, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you always stay up to date on my latest videos. As always, a big thank you to all of my supporters on Patreon, and if you'd like to get access to exclusive videos and behind the scenes content, then the link to support me on Patreon will be in the description below, and I'd really appreciate that. I'll see you guys next time with more LEGO creations, and thanks for watching.